This is a question. Simplify square root of 32 plus square root of 72 minus square root of 128. This is solved. So what we are going to do here is we write solution. Amen. Okay. So we have square root of 32 plus square root of 72 minus square root of 128. You agree with me? Okay. Since this is solved, we are going to look at it this way. I'm going to open your eyes how to solve problems of this form. Amen. First, we'll look at the square root of 32. Let us just consider square root of 32. Square root of 32, since it is solved, we are going to look for rational and irrational numbers. Amen. It means the rational number means it has a perfect square, while the irrational number means non-perfect squares. Amen. So note that, let us look at it this way. If we have 32, it implies that 16 times 2 will give us 32. Amen. So if you agree with me, it implies that this 16 is a rational number, while the 2 is irrational number. Is that clear? So what we'll do is we are going to write 16 times 2, square root of 16 times 2. It implies that this is the same thing as square root of 32 in sum. Is that clear? Now, we will look at it this way again. In sum, we have 16 times 2. This is the same thing as square root of 16 times square root of 2. Amen. So this implies that the square root of 16 is going to give us what? 4 times root 2. It implies that square root of 16, it implies that 4 times 4 will give you 16. Amen? Okay. So you discover that square root of 2 is the irrational number, while this is the rational number. The same thing applicable here. 72. Square root of 72. Let us think of numbers that one will be rational and the other one will be irrational. Amen. So if you agree with me, let's think of numbers. Okay. Think of two numbers. And what are the numbers? We know that 36 times 2 will give us 72. True or false? Okay, let's do it this way. 2 times 6 will give us 12. Carry 1. 2 times 3 will give us 6 plus 1, 72. Amen. So if you agree with me, it implies that this is the same thing as 36 times 2, which is the same thing as square root of 36 times 2 equals to, we know very well that square root of 32 will definitely give us, square root of 36 will give us 6, true or false? So 6 times square root of 2. Amen. Okay. Let's consider square root of 128. Square root of 128, square root of 128. Okay, let us think of two numbers. one will be rational and the other one will be irrational. If you agree with me, 64 and 2. Amen? Okay? Let's try it this way for the sake of malice. 64 times 2 will give us 128. This one will give us what? 8. 2 times 6 will give us 12. Are you seeing? Amen? So if you agree with me, this is the same thing as square root of 64 times 2. So square root of 64 times 2, this is the same thing as square root of 64 times square root of 2. And this is equals to square root of 64 will definitely give us what? 8, right? 8 times root 2. Amen? So if you agree with me, it implies that instead of 32, we are going to write 4 root 2. Amen? So this is equals to, or let us write it down, square root of 32 plus square root of 72 minus square root of 128 is equals to, instead of 32, we are going to write 4 root 2. Are you following? 4 root 2. What do we have here? We have plus here. Is that clear? We write the plus. Then, instead of 72, we write 6 root 2. Is that clear? So, write 6 root 2. Amen. Okay? What do we have here? The operation sign here is minus square root of 128. Instead of 128, we write 8 root 2. Are you following? Okay. If you agree with me to this point, are you seeing what I am seeing? If you can see what I am seeing, this implies that something is common here, two of us. If I were you, just bracket it. Put bracket this way. If you put bracket, what is common inside this bracket is root 2. Two of us. Amen? Root 2. So you bring root 2 outside. Root 2 all in brackets. Here will be 4. Two of us. Then plus 6 minus 8. It implies that if you use root 2 to multiply out this bracket, you will still get back this bracket. Amen? Do you understand? So now, without loss of generality, we can add this. We can add what is inside the bracket. Add and subtract. So if you agree with me, this is what we will do. 4 plus 6 will give us 10. Then 10 minus 8 will give us 2. So the answer is equals to root 2 on a bracket 2. So by the time you multiply out this bracket, you are going to have 2 root 2. Amen? Any question? Any question? No question? It's okay. Thank you.